Welcome to Lazy Eye Arcade. Today we're going to give you a quick demo on the gameplay features of Lazy Eye Arcade. So when you go to the website, what you're going to want to look at is you're going to look for the Play Games section. You're going to click on that button, and when you click on Play Games, it's going to take you to this Start screen. To start the game, you press the Start Now button, and this will load up the Lazy Eye Arcade. The first screen that it will always take you to is the settings screen. So we'll just run through a few features on this screen. It's just a quick reminder to make sure you're always wearing your glasses or your contact lenses that have been prescribed to you by your optometrist, and you always want to wear your red-blue glasses that you will receive in your Lazy Eye Arcade kit. The next setting that you want to do is set your amblyopic or your lazy eye. This will be told to you by your optometrist. If you're not sure which one it is, make sure you always set it at the correct setting. And so if you want it the right eye, you select right, and left eye if it's left eye, and that's the eye that is the amblyopic eye. The next setting that you're going to set is your contrast setting. The contrast setting you could set from anywhere from 100% all the way down to 0% in 5% steps. This number will be given to you by your optometrist as well, and each day you'll set that at a different level. So it's very, very important that you get the tracking sheet from your optometrist, and they will tell you which level to set the contrast at. The program will remember which setting you had set from the previous day, and so it should load up that setting and that contrast setting, but it's always good to make sure you check that it's correct. And seeing as you're changing the contrast every single day anyways, this will be the first screen that you will see. You can go in and out of the games, and it should always remain the same. Last feature on this screen is you're going to see at the bottom here, to exit this screen, if you press the escape or the X in the top right hand corner, that's going to take you out of this screen to the next games play screen. So we'll press on the X here, and this loads up the play games screen. What you'll see at the top here is a quick reminder that we have set the amblyopic eye to be the left eye, and a quick reminder that we set the contrast to be 100%. Down at the bottom of the screen, in the bottom left and the bottom right hand corners, you're going to see these stars, and these are basically badges that you can earn for the number of days that you've played or the number of minutes you've played. So once you've played 60 minutes, you'll earn this first badge, 180 minutes, this next badge, and these days and the minutes, these both are a cumulative number of minutes, not days or minutes in a row. So if you skip a day, you can still earn the 7-day badge, but it can give you an idea of how far along and how much you've been playing. On the bottom, it'll tell you can exit this screen by pressing the escape key or the X to go to the settings screen. So let's go back to the settings screen, and this here is this one, and then we can toggle back to the play game screen. In the middle of the screen, it tells you which games are available to play. So we have 4 games that currently on this playlist. We've got Snake, we've got Invaders, we have Froggy, and we have Pac-Man. And what you'll notice is beside them, besides Snake, Invaders, and Froggy, it says play, but beside Pac-Man it says locked. So if we try to click on Pac-Man, on the locked, we can't play it. What that means is that game has not been unlocked yet. You can unlock that game by reaching certain badges in other games, and then that will eventually unlock this. You'll see that we've already unlocked Invaders and we've already unlocked Froggy. When you start, the only game that will be available to play will be Snake, and that you'll have to reach a certain number of badges in order to unlock Invaders. So let's look at the instructions for Snake. So if we click on instructions, it'll give you instructions for each particular game. For Snake, the object of this game is to grow your snake as long as possible. You use the arrow keys to move your snake in different directions, and you eat the food to gain points and grow the snake longer. You want to avoid hitting the walls, and you want to avoid hitting the body of the snake. In all of games, basically if you press pause, P, that'll pause the game, and you press P again to unpause the game, and if you press escape or X, that will quit the game as well. So let's go out of this and let's just try playing the game Snake. So I'm going to hit play, and this is going to load up this screen, and you can see we've got the little snake, and we'll move him around. I just avoided that wall. And so I'm going to go eat the blue food here. So I'm going to eat that, and you'll notice my snake will grow by 1 length. So I'm currently have 4 segments in my snake. I'm going to eat this other piece of food, and it'll grow up to 5 segments, and so forth and so forth. Let me just pause the game, and I'll point out a couple of features. If you happen to be wearing your red-blue glasses, what you will notice is that with them on, with one eye you'll be able to see the snake, and with the other eye you'll be able to see the blue food. And that's a key aspect of the feature. You need to use both eyes and keep both eyes open in order to play the game appropriately. So let's just press P again to unpause it, and we'll keep going. I'm just going to actually purposely crash into the wall so we can get to the end of this game. And when we get to this game over screen, it shows us that in this particular game I reached the length of 5 segments. And here it shows you what badges you've attained. So we've already played this game a few times, so you can see we've reached the first 3 badges and attained 20, 40, and 60 segments. So our current goal in this game is try to reach 80 segments, and then we can earn this 4th badge. One thing you'll notice is on the 2nd badge here, there's this blue lock, and this padlock indicates that when you reach this level, you will unlock another feature of the game. So in this particular case, when you reach this 2nd badge of Snake, you will unlock the Invaders game. And so that's the attainment that you want to reach. You'll also notice that there's some words in here. And what these are secret words that are unlocked that your optometrist may choose to use to either find out how far along you've achieved or provide you other rewards or things like that. So we're going to exit out of here, and when we do that, it's going to take us back to the Play Games screen. One thing I'm going to go back to and just talk a little bit about is the contrast. So if we hit exit and go back to the contrast settings, so you see we currently have the contrast set at 100%. I'm going to change that, and we're going to go all the way down to, let's say, 30%. So we're going to change that. Now you're going to see the contrast is currently 30%. And let's go back to the Snake game, and we're going to play it. Now, what you'll notice is we've got our really bright red snake here, and I'm looking very hard to see if I can find any of the food. And it's very, very difficult to see, but I'm going to pause it here. But if you can look very, very carefully, right here there's a blue piece of food, and right here there's a blue piece of food, right here there's a blue piece of food. It's very, very dim and very, very hard to see, but that's what happens when you set the contrast lower. Now 30% is a very, very low contrast, and a lot of people may have trouble seeing that. And so you'll get the tracking sheet with your recommended contrast settings from your optometrist, and it'll tell you on any particular day what to set the contrast to. Now, if it happens that you set it to that contrast, and let's say it was 30%, and you are, with your red-blue glasses, you are not able to see these targets, then what we want you to do is increase the contrast level by 5% steps until you are able just to be able to see it and play the game. So that's okay to increase it if you need to, but if you can see it, then go ahead and try to see it. So we'll unpause it here again, and then we'll keep going. All right, and so those are the basic features of the gameplay of Lazy Eye Arcade. Thanks for your time.